And there it is. I'm unmuted by StreamYard. Hey, what's going on, folks? Good to see you again. Good to see you. I will be done with this crazy schedule I'm on here by the end of the month. So I'll be back to business as usual by the 1st of November. But kind of bear with me. Got something a little bit different we want to talk about tonight. This sheriff who gunned down the judge there in Letcher County. Kind of want to go over this because I've been a little bit intrigued by it. It's a lot of things here I think that we could learn about our justice system here in America when it comes to this is an interesting one because you're going to have a little bit of a divided justice system dealing with a law enforcement officer, an elected law enforcement officer, by the way, and a judge. So I want to talk about it a little bit. We'll do some true speculation on it for sure. But we will checking out the chat there. I'll weigh in on it. I want to go, kind of go over this and see, if people are thinking maybe the same thing I'm thinking. We could do some speculation, talk about it, see what's going on, and just catch up with you guys. With that, I'm gonna say hello to some folks. Oh, Mr. Shawn Doherty, welcome in, sir. Good to see you. What's up, Chevy? How you doing, man? How you doing? Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. G3 Mini in the house. What's up, G3 Mini? And she just jumped away. But anyway, there is Little Mama P. How are you doing, Little Mama P? Jack's Chicky. Hello. How are you? Uncle Will. He said he's just getting in from work. Good to see you, Uncle Will. Glad you could join us, sir. Cass. Hello. There is the one and only Hillbilly Dirt Farmer. Good to see you, sir. And the lovely Tony Michelle. How are you doing tonight, Tony? Drop on down to some new stuff. Tattoo Teardrops. He said, must have come across my OnlyFans page. Uh-oh. Already having them independent discussions out there. What's up? Big Shy Redneck in the house. He said it's a doppelganger for Rich Newbuck. Oh, my buddy Rich. Y'all gonna take it easy on Rich. Hello, Chad. Welcome in. Drop on downer. Hello, Connie Lucas. It's a new subscriber. Hopefully you enjoy the content. Thank you for subscribing. I'll drop on down. Got a pretty good community here, with the exception of this guy, Bayou Don. I don't even know what to do with this, Don. Yes, I appreciate you being here. It's always an adventure with Mr. Don S. Nickel G, what's going on, my man? Good to see you. Oh, said Nuck, it's Ryan Nichols. So is there a Ryan Nichols in the chat? Is that what this is? I don't even, well, you never know. There's some people who will fall for this stuff, as it's been eloquently displayed this week. I'm not going to talk about that tonight. I might talk about it another time, but would you expect anything less? Anyway, somebody throwing money at me. Here's Bayou Don in the house. He hits me with with $2 and a comment I would rather not read, but I'll leave it up there for a second. I appreciate you, Bayou Don. And yes, he is. There's some kind of a certification process for it, and he's gone through it. Appreciate the 2-bomb. Oh, go back to live comments. This rowdy crowd. Oh, let's see. Cass says, I got a new phone and never get notifications anymore. Well, you're not getting notifications for me because I'm slacking big time. It's been about 2 weeks since I've done anything. And it is mainly due to just the schedule that I'm working right now, but it has been promised to me that I will be back to normal by November. So we'll be back on the regular 1 to 2 a week by then. With that said, I'll be putting together something for this weekend too, for Saturday night. So with that, and just like that, there you go. Ryan Nichols, impersonating Newbuck. Yeah, I think Newbuck's been impersonated. He's out there repping the Mets or something, which who knows. There's Dr. Mike 12 Point, and he is a real doctor, by the way. He said the gobbler's still on the couch. Don't let him fool you. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. I did notice a few things about the gobbler, though. If you don't want to help him, he's kind of relegated to buying views at this point. So, it's maybe a topic for a different day, but I don't want to help that guy at all. Oh. T-Dam with the Wrench of Fury and all of the links that you may need ever in your life right there. That lady has them. Cosmic King, good to see you. Let's see. Harley motherfucking Davidson, hello. Drop on down. I'm already behind. So this is a perishable skill that I've learned. If you're not on top of this, it's not easy to do, by the way. There is Belle. Hello. She says, I'm one of a fucking kind. Remember that. I remember it. Gina G, the elected leader of the G unit. How are you doing tonight? Good to see you. Bayou Don, they're going to speculate about the couch. Blue Eyes, one iteration of hello. Good to see you. Let's see. Oh, there's the other one. New Buck. Martha would like you all to know that 700 is an odd number. Yeah, I don't know. He's another one you don't want to help. Demi Kills. Hello. Good evening, Rusty. Well, good evening to you as well. Platinum Pyro. What's going on? Shoddy the Plug. I think they revoked Shoddy's doctor license, I think. I don't know. I was hanging out with him the other night. Pretty good deal he's got going on over there, by the way. Mr. True Texan, who was the very first person to comment on the stream whenever I had put it up today. So if you didn't get a notification for it, it's completely my fault. I put this together super, super late. I was wanting to do it yesterday and didn't get to it. So, Blue Eyes, someone tell my ex-husband to stop. Damn. Mike, yeah, 12 point. There is the lovely June K. Hello, June K. How are you? And T-Dam knows that she's missed people. Apologies. Multitasking. Yes, and she is the best in the business at it. All apologies accepted ahead of time. Here's Bayou Don at Rusty Truck. We need a round table open panel with you, Rich, Rowdy, Little Leg Day, Wade, and Seeper. We need a good live. I don't know. I don't know about that. So we'll, like I said, I'm putting something together. We'll see. I don't know. You'll get all your wishes there, Mr. Bayou Don. Oh, Rusty, just care about 700 right now. Hello. Okay. I'm duly noted. 700 is now at the top of my list of priorities. Oh, 815 guys says take the zeros out of 700 and it's odd. Okay. New Buck. Yeah. You guys get caught up in arguing with these people who are actually afflicted mentally. And I mean, there's like people out here that you're arguing with that have like traumatic brain injuries and all kinds of stuff. And I mean, it's just saying, it's kind of rough. The lovely Not Enough, who has been a member for 4 months. I appreciate you, Nada. And that is a banging ass picture you got going on there. Welcome in, dear. Good to see you. So let me go and check that stuff out. Mr. Hillbilly Dirt Farmer has he's a member for 4 months. And yeah, I couldn't have described it any better than that. But would you expect at this point, do you expect anything else? I mean, come on. If someone sends you a picture of a small peepee in your in the back streets, and then then tells you it belongs to somebody, and you start distributing it, what do you think? I mean, do you not think you were set up? Anyway, he's burned the kitchen down dumb. We already know that. But did you expect anything else? I mean, come on. Stupid. He's a dummy. It's sad how dumb he is, because you have to start. They say it's the same thing, like when you're dead, you don't know it. It's the same thing when you're dumb. It only affects the people around you. That's really that you have to start taking that into consideration at this point. So, I mean, oh, horrible. That was good. Let's see. Shoddy says we need a Rusty Truck and Joe Barron live sometime. Dang it. I would like to have Joe on, but Rich ruined that for him. So, that's a real thing. He's not kidding about that. What's up, Skip Shooter? Good to see you. My favorite YouTuber, Little Leg Day. What's going on, my man? How are you? Slayback in the house. I'll drop on down. I'm already losing track of comments, guys. Sorry. Hello, Corliss. How are you? Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. But if you deal with some of these people for too long, it'll actually start detracting from your own intellect. So you have to meter those interactions with these idiots. Oh, yeah. Still, there is spokesman number 5. Hello. Good to see you. Thank you for joining into the, this knockoff shit show or whatever this is getting ready to turn into. Ghosts of Shadows in the house. What's going on? It's a verifiable. He's a real ghost, by the way. Oh, yeah, I agree. 815. I did catch Fusions live, and he seemed thoroughly confused by the entire thing, which, kind of goes to the point that I just made. He was very, very confused about how this, and it was just, his only reaction was that it's weird. Well, no shit, dummy. No shit. Only there's a reason why people like put information in the hands of Johnny Gobble and AD. You ever wonder why they do that? Because they'd like it to be distributed. It's a given. If you go to these idiots, they're going to do this. So, I mean, it just works out tremendously well. They will never disappoint with their stupidity. Justice Roberts, she says, I'm going to rest, not feeling good tonight. See y'all next time. All right, Justice Roberts, have a good night. Have a good rest. Hopefully you are feeling better. Oh, the future of the Gene Team. I don't even know the Gene Team. Jesus. Well, yeah, I mean, you're the one that got me over there. Even I'm just going to bring it up because it's relevant here for a day, but it's stupid. He's, again, what are you going to do with that? Oh, Limu Emu. What's going on? I have been enjoying, your community posts, Limu Emu, by the way. Wanted to tell you. Good work you're putting in over there. I like it. There is that Leo bitch, Linda the Wolf. How are you doing tonight, Linda? Never disappointing with those picks, by the way, Linda. Howdy. Oh, drop on down. Sorry, I get caught up in the chat sometimes. Raging Cajun in the house. Hello. How are you doing? Drop on down. New comments. Here we are. All right. Dr. Governor Mike 12 Point. Yes, he needs to be in some kind of an elected office for sure. Red Eye Patriot. He says, I'm sending you something through Power Stroke. Hope you like it. I much appreciate it, sir. I guarantee I will like it. Guarantee. It'll be, well, I mean, the only thing people send me on YouTube is generally like cease and desist that never shows up and lawsuits that never show up and stuff like that. But yeah, I would appreciate that very much so. Jay Johnson, what's going on? Welcome. Oh man, I tried to block this person in real life the other day. They made my chat experience very uncomfortable. It was very, very uncomfortable. Okay, who is present? She says Rusty Buckets. New Buck said, this was the 5th time I've asked myself, is AD this dumb or is he part of the troll? I have determined that he is just that dumb. Yes, Mr. Newbuck. And if you recall, I told you when you bumped your head the first time on this subject and you were like, I think he's a really good guy. And I said, there's absolutely no fucking way he's a good guy. He's an idiot. And I will pat myself on the back with that one. Definitely. Yeah, it's beyond evident. Anyway, enough about that idiot. So. Leg Day is out on bail. Oh, speaking of other idiots, the troll that little Leg Day put on, and it's just like, okay, again, he burnt, and who else is in the intersection of this deal, right? JD is in the intersection with this whole same deal. And then old Gobbler's in the comments on Uncle Will's video talking about, yeah, that guy needs to get charged. He was harassing Martha. I'm just like, Jesus, just, you know what, Leg Day, it's too easy for you, sir. And I know I don't blame you for doing it. I don't blame you at all. But that's what I mean, man. These people, they're that predictable and that stupid. Appreciate it, spokesman. Thanks for stopping in. I mean, they're just that predictable and that damn dumb that, you know, you can't, I know it's hard to resist. It's hard to resist it. So. Yeah, it was. I agree. It probably was a different person. You're absolutely right. Because right now you're not making me uncomfortable at all. So. What's up, J Prez? Oh, yeah, me too. I got to get caught up too. I'm behind. Not really. I've been paying attention. I just don't post much. I am very selective about the chats I enter and who I conversate with. Kunas, he said, what's going on? Hello. All right. Drop on down to the last little bit of comments here. Pixie 5150. Hello. And that's it. All right. So when we get back to the matter at hand, this sheriff, Mickey Stines, Shawn Mickey Stines, looks like he was elected in 2018. I've been sheriff there for a few years. So we all know exactly what happened. I'm sure some of you have watched the video of him gunning down the Judge Mullins in the chambers there. So I was very, very intrigued by this particular case because, I mean, you're going to divide that system and how it works. So normally if you have, let's just say you have a police officer who gets in trouble with, you know, some stuff on video and they have a case that gets put before the grand jury. About 95% of the time, that cop is going to get a no true bill returned by that grand jury because the prosecutor controls basically the grand jury, what's shown to the grand jury and what happens. Now, if you take a normal citizen and they will return a true bill, about 97 to 98% of the time. So it's almost inverted, the percentages. So that just gives you an idea of how lopsided that system can be. I only bring up that fact and that matter because this is going to divide that system quite a bit. Now, I don't think that there's much you can do to defend the actions of the sheriff. So, you know, I mean, there is a video, very much so. The thumbnail is a still from that video of him taking the life of the judge. So, you know, I mean, and he did it in a very cold-blooded manner. There's no self-defense. There's no question about it. The only question that is left is the motive of why he decided to do it. So, I think, because if I'm not mistaken, I believe the death penalty is on the table with this in Kentucky. So he can be put to death for killing this judge. So the defense is looking at, I think the strategy that they're going to go with, it's not really much speculation on my part, but he's saying that he was suffering a traumatic event at the time that he decided to do this. And well, I'm like, well, no kidding. It's definitely not the best day of your life if you have to take somebody out. But there's just a lot going on with this particular case. So there is an ongoing federal lawsuit right now from Letcher County that involves now ex-Sheriff Stines. So basically he had someone reporting to him by the name of Ben Fields. Ben Fields was a deputy sheriff underneath Stines, and he was convicted and served time. I'm not 100% sure if he's out right now, but I did see a report to where he had gotten out. I haven't confirmed it, that he served like 6 months of his sentence. This Ben Fields individual, and Stines is listed on the ongoing federal lawsuit right now, which has two complainants, one of which who has already passed away. Woman passed away at the beginning of 2023, but her estate is still listed on the lawsuit. So I'll go ahead and I'll pull that deal up right now. I will put myself back in StreamYard so I can do this. Oh, we'll share the screen. All right, this guy right here. I'll see if you can see it. And might not be able to see it on my little ass screen, but I'll read it to you. So, yeah, this the lawsuit, if you guys want to check it out, is Adkins v. Fields, 722, civil case 00007. So District Court, Eastern District in Kentucky is what it is. It was last updated October 15th, 2024. And I believe that was due to the recent events with this, and with Sheriff Stines giving a deposition to this, and they are going to extend some kind of time limits on this thing for them to continue to present evidence for it, because there is some speculation that this may have some bearing on what happened with him and the judge. So I'll go back and read some comments here. Blue Eye says, got a torn rotator cuff. Oh, sorry about that, Blue Eyes. Hopefully you'll be doing better shortly. And Dagburn going live as we speak. Of course he is. Of course he is. So yeah, not surprising at all. So I will end up doing something else with Mr. Dagburn. We'll talk about it. But anyway, so that particular deal, he's still giving depositions for this lawsuit. And I know they've extended a time limit based on it for that. So the reason why I'm bringing that up is Stines is listed in the lawsuit because basically it's alleged that these two women were basically coerced by Ben Fields, something to do with an ankle monitor and sexual favors. There's reports that she said that she could not afford the ankle monitor, and Ben Fields decided he could offer her, alternate payments and benefits of having the monitor taken off and putting back on strategically to make sure she's shown in compliance if he did things that she wanted him to do, or he wanted her to do. It's some pretty grimy shit, but the overall deal with this particular lawsuit is it gives an indication that there is some corruption that's coming out of this little group of people here. So you have Stines directly involved in the lawsuit, named in it because this guy reported to him, and there is a report that he was basically complained to about Ben Fields, and he decided to ignore the complaint. His defense to that is that he had no idea that there was anything wrong or going on until the lawsuit was filed. So, who knows? We don't know for a fact that if any of this was related to what's going on. I will say that the one intersection point is the same judge's quarters that this murder happened in, is the same judge's quarters that these alleged assaults happened in. So, and I don't think we need to use the word alleged on it, because he was actually convicted and did time for it, and they're still involved in the federal part of the lawsuit. So with that, kind of wanted to go over this preliminary hearing that they had. Let me remove this out of here. Get this back to this deal. I want to go over this preliminary hearing to where they do show the video. And I think it's pretty interesting. It was at least interesting to me listening to it through the first time, of how careful they are about the questions. Let's see here. Let's see, Rich Newbuck. AD also said Rusty Truck would never speak on Johnny again because his daddy, Ryan Upchurch, has told everyone, has said he needs to stop the hate speech towards Johnny. Something else on an embezzled truck. Oh, fuck. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Whatever, Rich. Of course, dumbass is going to say that shit. So... yeah, Native J was, I know he had some serious issues going on with his wife's health. So, I ain't got nothing but, I don't have to agree with the dude on everything, but I ain't got nothing but respect for the dude, because it seemed to me like he was handling his business. So yeah, I don't, Ryan's never said anything, about Johnny Gobble to anybody. As far as I know, I haven't gotten the memo, if that's what you're talking about, and it's like, and I've openly said that I will be on the fucking Gobble. I don't give a fuck if this point I said no title fucking 5, I guess what it was. If he features Johnny on one of the no title songs, I'll still be on his fucking neck. If he gets on here and does dumb shit, and it's just to the point where, you can't ignore it or, whatever, I'll call him the fuck out. I really don't care. He can go hang out with Ryan. I'll call him the fuck out. I don't give a shit. I think that he is one of the most detestable human beings walking the fucking planet. Him and that drug whore wife of his. So I don't give a shit. There's no redeeming qualities from that dude ever. I've watched him trash his kid on here. I've watched another child that he was around flat out accuse him of doing some pretty bad stuff and then recanted it. So, there's no redeemable quality for that dipshit. I don't give a fuck. And then, Ryan's not going to tell me or anybody else what to fucking do or think. So, like I said, AD can go over there and play with fucking baby dick pics and shit or whatever he's doing. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck. Anyway. So back to where I'm at. Hello, Cajun Dealer. How are you? Oh, I got a good clip of something he said. Was it yesterday or the day before? It was fucking stupid. Yeah, exactly, Uncle Will. Nobody gives a flying fuck about Johnny. Nobody cares about the dude. Nobody gives a flying fuck about that dude. He is a non-issue to a lot of fucking people, including, the people that should, he should matter to. He doesn't. So there you go. Oh, yeah, you kind of get it, huh? Right. Yeah. I can't really hide how I feel about it. No, I've sat and listened to this dude just do all kinds of just nasty shit to people. And okay, I'll just say it right now. We all know Wade stepped away. Wade's likely in his last days right now. Johnny is well documented for the nasty shit that he said about Wade. All right. Now, Johnny's going to go and hide from that. He's going to go hide from the stuff that he said about Wade, knowing that Wade's time is close. He's a fucking coward. He is a coward. Him and the rest of the people who all said all the shit that they said about the man. They're fucking cowards. And he'll hide from that to this day. He won't stand on what he fucking said. So, I mean, this is why I don't like the dude, man. There's nothing to like it. There's nothing to him that you can like. He's fucking detestable, man. He's just a nasty scumbag. There's nothing to like about this guy. So, what's up, damn Yankee? So here are just some YouTube idiots who burn bridges. Better luck in their next incarnation. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Uncle Will says deadbeat daddy is Johnny. Yeah. I mean, the dude, like, I don't have any kind of, I don't have anything for people who don't take care of their kids. It's like, you know, these dudes that, you know, can't even take care of their offspring, like the fucking Johnnies, the Martins, the PBRs, all of them, you know, they're all got the same fucking thing going on. It's like, they're nothing, man. They're nothing. They are just oxygen thieves at this point in time. I don't believe they have a place on the planet. That's just my opinion. So. What's up, Motivated? How are you doing, man? Yeah, that's it, man. I mean, and they sat around and did it, and they won't stand on it. None of them will. None of them will. So, and make no mistake, he's a fucking coward right now because he knows. He knows the time is close because Wade stepped away, and he's going to hide from it. But I promise you, within everything that's within my fucking power, he will never, ever fucking live that down. I will document that shit as far as I need to make sure that it is an albatross on his fucking neck for the rest of his days. That's what needs to be known about that guy. So yeah, he's not gonna hide from it over there. You want to talk about going hands across America or some shit because he's over there fucking rubbing paint on fucking molded walls? No, absolutely not. I don't give a fuck, dude. I don't give a fuck. You people need to stop listening to Johnny and stop listening to Patty and stop listening to these fucking manipulators out there who will just mislead you. You know, for fuck's sake, people over there invested in the stupid shit that AD ran with because they're dumb, man. I mean, if you fell for that, you're fucking dumb. That's just all there is to it. Only met the son of a bitch once, and that was a couple years ago. Yeah, exactly. G3, man. He can fuck himself. Yeah, it's a thing that you're never going to live down, man. You're never going to live it down. You're not going to say that shit and it's going to go away. So yeah, it'll be fuck you forever. And I've always said that. There's nothing, I don't give a fuck, dude. He can literally be in a video with Ryan Upchurch. I don't fucking care. You know, I mean, this whole misnomer that, you know, people are somehow beholden to Ryan or what Ryan says, you're mistaken. You're absolutely fucking mistaken. So go ahead and play that card and see how well it works for you. It's never going to fucking matter. And why would Ryan damage himself by doing anything with that dude? There's just no reason to. Yeah, exactly. Right on. Exactly. He's got some shit coming to him that, you know, the bills are due on that. Well, because they want the drama. They want to plug into the drama is what it is. So that's why it becomes, you know, it's something to get people into because you can hear these people go back and forth. And even if it's the like most benign shit, like me, I don't have any tolerance for any of it anymore. Yeah, they are. I mean, people that support that, I mean, and, you know, it's not even just that. It's, you know, the things he said to Kansas, the things he said to fucking Wade, just the things that dude said. He's threatening to beat up Jacob during those conversations. He was physically threatening the kid. Physically. he was still, I mean, you see what he is. He's, pregnant women or multiple pregnant women saying he's kicked them. It's just like, God, man, it's ridiculous, dude. It's absolutely ridiculous. The dude is a waste of fucking life. A waste of life. Anyway, so no more getting sidetracked. If need be, I will just ignore the chat. Anyway, I wanted to go over this preliminary hearing, and I thought the questioning between the prosecutor and the detective was pretty interesting because they seem to be very divided on this deal. So. Yeah, most people would be. Anyway, get into this.
Session with the Honorable Rupert Lloyd. Thank you, sir. You may be seated. I'm going to call the case of Commonwealth versus Shawn Stines, 24F-147, on for preliminary hearing. Is the Commonwealth ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the defense ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, call your first witness.
Commonwealth's Clayton Stanford.
All right, so Mr. Stanford, if you would raise your right hand for me. You swear affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir, I do.
Thank you. You may be seated.
You state your name for the record, please.
Clayton Stamper,
And how do you spell your name?
ClaytonStamper.
Tell the court how you're employed.
I'm sorry.
How are you employed?
I'm a detective with the Kentucky State Police assigned to Post 13 Hazard.
How long have you been employed in that capacity?
I've been with KSP a little over 24 years, detective since 2006.
And have you, in the performance of your duties as detective police, have you investigated the death of Kevin Mullins?
Yes, sir, I did.
And can you tell us on what date that was?
It was September 19th, 2024.
In investigation of that death, were you able to determine who killed Kevin Mullins?
Yes.
And how were you able to do that?
Video surveillance footage.
And did you retrieve the video surveillance footage?
I did.
You're at this time, the Commonwealth move to play video footage.
All right.
All right, so there's a bit of silence here while he gets this deal. So yeah, they gotta immediately. They're going to. The defense attorney is going to object to them playing this video in the court. And the last time I was on here, I'll go ahead and pause this and put it back to the place where I need to. There's a lot of dead air here. But the last time I was on here, I talked about this. I thought it was very interesting that this video is quite long, that they're going to play, but the prosecutor elected to play this like 10-second, excuse me, I'm already losing my fucking voice. This 10-second portion of it where basically it is just the gunplay. It is just him ending him. So, and I was like, okay, and this was at the preliminary hearing. The preliminary hearing. This is why I'm very, very intrigued by all of this. Is that immediately, like, they've got this video and this is a preliminary hearing, but they've already put that video evidence out and put it in to the hands of the people in the court. But more importantly, it's out in the open. So it's going to make it very, very hard for this guy to get a fair trial, right? They're already going to basically pollute the jury pool with this information. Like, they didn't have to release this video. They strategically chose to do it. And the reason why I say that is because has to be, to me, from the prosecutor's side of this, there has to be something underlying that he knows about. And he wants to make sure he can get a conviction on this guy, despite what all comes out in this trial. He wants to get this information out early and get ahead of something. And that's kind of why I led into all this other stuff about this lawsuit and the things that happened in the judge's chambers and the bit of corruption that we already know about, that's already been confirmed. we kind of, you look at this and I was like, man, it's really interesting that they wanted to get this out early and ahead of everyone. They could have, if this was, it kind of screams to me that there's going to be some information coming out about this judge and the people in this courthouse that's going to be very, very unflattering. It's going to expose some more corruption. Yeah. June K has got it right. So it didn't have anything to do with the daughter as far as we know. As a matter of fact, there was some information that kind of dispels all that, that I will get to in a little bit. As far as whether or not the daughter was involved, I won't get ahead of it because there is some testimony that comes in here where we can talk about it, but it's, the daughter, as far as we know right now, there was no actual interaction between that judge and this sheriff's daughter. And I'll show you a piece of information about that from a third party that kind of dispels it. So, look, Cass says, totally agree. Well, appreciate it. Let's see, tattoo teardrops. No. All right. Cass says, how is it not contempt of court? They aren't trials supposed to be unreleased due to bias? Well, and that's the thing about it. So a prosecutor has immunity, right? They've got a lot of discretion on what they can do. So basically they can choose to put certain information forward, kind of like what I talked about with the grand jury process, because you have no opportunity to defend yourself at a grand jury. It's, it's a whole other thing, but you'll get the idea about grand juries if you don't know about it. But a lot of people don't understand that a grand jury is not a traditional jury trial. It's one of these things. It's a one-sided presentation of information, evidence by the prosecution. That's really what it comes to. There's no defense attorney. There's nothing there. There's no way for you to defend yourself. So they have some discretion on what they do. In this preliminary hearing, for them to put this very edited video out to remove any kind of context of what would have led up to this situation was very telling to me. So I'll get back into this, but there's a lot of silence here. I'll probably just bump it forward. So as I started to say, the defense attorney had an objection immediately to them playing this. So, and for the same reasons that I just put out. So this was what their whole little bench meeting was about. And this is just dead air right here. I'm gonna bump this forward.
You ready to proceed?
Call for it.
All right, what was that?
Take it as a portion of the video.
Yes, it is.
Take it as a portion of the video.
Yes, it is.
Well, Demon Kills says, I actually haven't seen the video. Okay. Remind me, I'll take it and I'll post it to my Rumble. I just don't want to put it over here on YouTube. I've got the video. It's pretty short. I'll take it and post it up on Rumble. Just remind me before I get out of here and I'll do it so you can take a look at it.
And were you able to identify the party that we saw in that video?
That was Sheriff Mickey Stines and Judge Kevin Mullins.
And also, Who had the firearm?
Sheriff Stines.
And then, judge was also in his black robe.
Yes,
Do you know what portion of the courthouse that is?
that is the judge's chambers
And where's that located at, physically located?
in the Letcher County Courthouse.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Like prosecuting the witness?
Would you?
That was a short clip that was played there. How long do you believe that clip was?
That we just watched,
Yes, sir.
just 10 seconds, 15 seconds.
10, 15 seconds. In fact, the video that was taken in the judge's chambers between the meeting between Sheriff Stines and Judge Mullins, it's my understanding that video lasted much longer.
Okay, so I'm going to touch on Cass's comment here. This is not a grand jury. The case right now is getting ready to be put before a grand jury. This is the preliminary hearing. So there's really nothing wrong with what the prosecutor did. I don't want to mislead anyone, but I'm just saying that that piece of evidence, the fact that they're putting it out into the public before they've selected a jury, tells me something about what we're going to end up finding out about this judge. So, and the reasons that are happening, it's a strategic play on that portion of it, in my view, in my opinion. So for them to be putting this out this early before a jury is being selected, yes. This is not the grand jury. I'm sorry if I misled you in any way. This is just a preliminary hearing. The next step of this case will be putting this information before a grand jury, to clarify that.
Correct?
Yes,
Okay. And have you had an opportunity to review the video
I have.
of the prior incident?
I have.
And can you describe for us what happened immediately prior to the clip that we saw?
Sheriff Stines uses his telephone to make some phone calls. He then borrows Judge Mullins' cell phone and appears to make a call on that. And that led to what you just saw.
Okay, so it's my understanding there were some people who were having a meeting with Judge Mullins prior to the sheriff's entry into the chambers. Is that correct?
Yes.
Have you identified those witnesses?
I don't know the names of them. There's about approximately 4 people in there. Then Sheriff Stines enters the judge's chambers and everybody else clears out.
You don't know their names?
Not right off, no.
Have you prepared a report?
In the process, yes.
You're in the process of preparing a report,
Yes, a lot of information.
but you've not spoken to any of those witnesses?
I'm not directly, but they've all been interviewed. There's recorded interviews of those people in the case.
Okay, so
Yeah, Shady J, there is some information about the daughter. It's basically dispelling that that there was anything that the judge was doing directly with the daughter, as far as we know right now. And I've got that from a third party source that I'll end up showing you here a little bit later on.
other officers have spoken with those 4 witnesses?
Yes.
And what is your understanding of what those 4 witnesses have said?
I don't recall.
You have no idea what they said?
No.
I want to make sure I understand, had there been a hearing previously this day in chambers?
In the courtroom?
No, in chambers.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. And so there's a video camera that is running in the district judge's chambers. Is that on all the time?
It's my understanding, yes.
And have you spoken with anyone about why that may be?
No. I mean, there's cameras throughout the courthouse.
Well, fair enough, but are you familiar with district judges' chambers normally, how they're set up?
No. I mean, some of them have video surveillance and some don't.
Right, but
This one does.
generally when they have surveillance, you'd agree with me that that is utilized when there is a proceeding going on in chambers, correct?
It could be, yes.
Okay. And I mean, I'm just asking you, so this video didn't have an audio recording to it, correct?
There's no audio.
Outside of once the four people that were inside.
All right, so this is the prosecutor, or I'm sorry, the defense attorney with the lead investigator. So there's a little bit of insight into why he's asking about this. He's pretending to be totally ignorant to cameras inside the courthouse. So what I had talked about before with this same judge's quarters being a place where allegedly that the sexual misdeeds involving Ben Fields, the deputy, that reported to Stines, this is where those things had happened. This is where they were reported to have happened, in those chambers. So now there are cameras in there, and nothing really comes of this exchange, but there's a reason this attorney is asking him about this. He's trying to kind of lead him into, hey, there was something that happened in this chambers before. Now there's cameras in there, but it never really got there.
That we don't know their names. Once these four people had left the chambers, were they in an area adjacent where they could hear anything that was going on?
Yes, I believe some of them did remain in the next room.
Okay. And what did they tell us?
Do I?
What did they hear?
I've not been part, I wasn't part of those interviews.
Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly, you're prepared for a preliminary hearing on a murder, and there are witnesses in an adjacent room.
I mean, they heard
Now,
gunshots.
please, my question, please.
Yeah, let me ask the questions.
Thank you, officer. So you are investigating a murder and testifying in a preliminary hearing, and there are witnesses who may have overheard what preceded this edited clip, yet you can't tell us today anything that they said?
I've not personally listened to those interviews. I've talked to the other officers that did those interviews.
Fair enough, and I mean, we're here at a preliminary hearing, as you know, that you can testify to hearsay. I'm asking you what they said.
They heard gunshots.
Okay, was there any statements that they overheard?
No.
Were there raised voices?
There, one person stated that she didn't recognize him as being Judge Mullen's voice, but heard somebody say, "Help, help."
Presumably that would be after the firearm was drawn or shot.
Objection, Your Honor.
I would draw, Judge.
Withdraw.
Okay, so is there any testimony that you can give us today about any statements or arguments or the content of that argument prior to the shooting?
No.
All right. Yeah, this was Nada picked up on it. The line of questioning that the defense attorney is using for this detective, it's very leading. He's trying to lead him into things because he knows he's talked to his client, that there's some information that took place that was spoken about. And he's trying to get this detective to cop to it. So now the detective is saying, hey, I don't know. I wasn't part of the interview. He's being very dodgy about this. So this is why he's being very dodgy about the cameras. He didn't hear anything. He wasn't part of the interview. So there's a couple little things that he lets out, but for the most part, he's kind of just stonewalling the defense attorney here.
I want to ask generally, so did you process the scene? Are you the lead investigator on this case?
I am.
Okay, so it's a lead.
Yeah, Shady J. He actually was. He was smoking at the time that this happened, which I did find it kind of interesting and profound. Being that, in this day and age, to be smoking indoors, especially in a public building, kind of gives you an idea of, kind of the temperature of the place, if you will. So.
investigator, I would presume that you would have secured the chambers and evidence once you arrived.
I was part of that, yes.
You were part of it, right? But you're the lead investigator, so you'd be in charge of those duties and delegating what should be done. Is that fair?
No, I don't delegate what's done.
Okay, so you're the lead investigator. What does that mean?
I'm the case officer.
Okay, so you're carrying the case. So I want to make sure I understand, had Judge Mullins been removed from chambers when you arrived?
No,
Were you able to ascertain, did he have a firearm on his person?
we did not locate one.
You did not locate one?
No, there's not one in the chambers.
Okay. And there was none on his person?
No.
Okay. All right, who was the first person to arrive on behalf of law enforcement to investigate?
They were already in the courthouse.
Fair enough, but I'm talking about in terms of people that we may see a report from or take part in this investigation. Who would be the first person that we get?
I believe Trooper Jason Bates was the first KSP personnel on scene.
Okay. And you spoke with him and
I did.
he searched and did not locate a firearm?
No, he didn't search the scene, no.
His
Role at that point was security of the scene.
I understand, but I'm just trying to ascertain, you said earlier that there was no firearm found. I'm
No,
wanting to know, can you tell us, was it specifically searched for a firearm?
in the judge's chambers,
Yes, sir.
there was myself, Detective Chris Collins, Detective Scott Caldwell, Detective Eric Caldwell. That's all I recall right now.
Okay, but I'm trying to understand, so who searched specifically for a firearm?
We all did.
And that was specifically something you looked for?
Yes.
Fair enough, okay.
All right. So obviously the defense attorney knows that there's no recovered firearm, but he's wanting to try to lead this guy into, and to me, what I'm interpreting this as is he's exploring possible defenses to say, hey, because he already knows that there is some known corruption that's gone on in this area, in the actual area that this happened. To me, he's focusing on cameras. He's focusing on, did you guys find a firearm? Did he have a firearm? And then who looked for the firearm? So to me, he's looking for holes in what they've got, in the work that they've done right now.
Of course, your investigation, did you ascertain that prior in the day, there had been a lunch meeting between Sheriff Stines and Judge Mullins?
There was.
Pardon?
There was.
Okay. Sorry, I couldn't hear your response. I wasn't being trite. So where did this take place?
It's a restaurant called Street Side, and it's just down the street from the courthouse.
Okay. And it's my understanding there were a couple of other people who attended the luncheon?
There were several, yes.
Okay. And at some point after that, they wrapped up lunch and left, obviously, and went back to the courthouse. Are you aware of anything so far in your investigation that would tell us there was any issues at lunch between Judge
No,
Mullins and Sheriff Stines?
no.
Okay. But someone on behalf of the KSP has spoken to those witnesses?
Yes, they've all been interviewed.
And there was nothing unusual that had arisen during that luncheon?
I was told that the judge made a statement to Mickey about, do we need to meet private in my chambers? That's all I was told.
Do you know the context of
I do
what the conversation was before that they would need to discuss in chambers?
I do not.
So it's my understanding that in the larger portion of the video that we haven't had access to, that there is a point when Sheriff Stines asked for to see the telephone of Judge Mullins.
Yes.
Is that a yes? I mean,
Yes.
yes, okay. And I would presume that you and the other officers you mentioned, when you secured the scene, that you secured those phones as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
And have you reviewed both of those phones?
They're currently at the forensic lab at this time being downloaded. I have had discussions with the people at the lab regarding the downloads.
And those are a couple of other questions that I was going to ask you, but my original question was, have you reviewed or are you aware of the content of the phones?
I've not personally seen it because I've not received those reports yet.
Okay, again, based upon your conversations with the officers, are you aware of any recent content that was up and could have been relevant at the time of their discussion?
I was told that Sheriff Stines had tried to call his daughter, and he had tried to call his daughter from the judge's phone also.
So, have you obtained the phone records from Judge Mullins's phone?
I don't have those in my possession yet. No.
Okay, have you issued a search warrant for them?
Yes.
Okay. And have officers confirmed that the sheriff's daughter's phone number was on Judge Mullins's phone?
Yes.
Okay.
So, yes.
So that number had been called from Judge Mullins's phone. Is
Yes.
that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty this interesting. So there's a few things about Sheriff Stines trying to call his daughter from his phone and then trying to call his daughter from the judge's phone. So this is kind of where to me, it gets really, really interesting because we don't really have a motive of what's going on here. The defense attorney, he's trying to do his very best to lead this detective into saying some things that are beneficial to his client. He's not really getting much from it. So I found this, to me, I start brainstorming and start thinking about what possible reasons would you pick up another person's phone when you use your phone, right? There's two phones in the area. You use your phone and then you pick up this person's phone and then you try to dial your daughter from that phone. And the thing about it is now, and I've heard differing stories about this. Initially, it was reported that the phone, like the number, the judge's number or the judge's phone had the daughter's number stored in it. And that's not correct. That's not what happened. The sheriff dialed her number from that phone. And I have to wonder, why in the world would he do that? What's going on? So they went out to lunch, whatever happened during lunch, they came back. Clearly there was nothing going on at that moment. They come back to the quarters and, sit down and have a conversation. We don't get to see or hear any of that stuff. Clearly the conversation to me is going to be somewhat damning to the prosecution's case because they've snipped everything out except for the murder itself. So the context of the conversation, they don't want it out there. So something happened leading up to this. And I got to wonder, so he went out to lunch with this guy. He comes back. The story is he didn't plan any of this. He kind of just flipped out and just whatever, lost his mind. That's his defense. This was not planned. It was not first degree, although it's looking very much like a first degree deal. I mean, to me, if you're going to put this in front of a jury, you say, okay, I met with this person. I went to lunch with them. I came back to the quarters, their office, however you want to put it, and then end up, ending them. It's going to be very, very hard, to say that there was not something there that you planned to do this, or it was a possibility in your mind for this to happen. So I kind of got sidetracked there. I started to brainstorm and think, okay, why would the sheriff use that phone to call the daughter? To me, I mean, the most likely thing, and I mean, this is just me speculating. This would be some true speculation on my part. I'm thinking he's trying to plant a seed on a phone record, that he wants to show a phone call going out to his daughter from that phone. Why? I cannot find any other reason in my mind why he would do that. because if the number wasn't stored in the phone, there's no reason for it. So, I mean, you could say, oh, you've got my daughter's number in your phone. Yeah, I could see would be maybe a trigger point, but why would he dial the number? Because I've heard the report. It was not stored in the phone. So I'm thinking that maybe he was trying to cover this up. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So that's just me speculating out there. I cannot come up with a better reason of why he would use that phone to do that. Yeah, not enough. You're following what I'm saying. So yeah, I mean, this could say that he could maybe trying to say, well, maybe, he called my daughter from his phone. Who knows? I mean, it seems to me a guy who's a sheriff, a law enforcement individual would be able to plan this out a little bit better, but you never know. Cajun dealer says maybe his phone died. Yeah, quite possibly. I mean, it's well within the realm of possibility, but right before all the action started, hard to believe. I mean, I don't really see, I'm looking at more along the lines of what would trigger this, and to me, I can't really wrap my mind around it. Now I could be wrong, and I'll openly say, hey, look, I'm just speculating at this point. I just can't figure out why he would call her number from the judge's phone. There you go. Cass says when a dummy tries to create an alibi. There you go. So Savannah says it was confirmation that there was a connection. Maybe possibly. I have not seen a confirmation of it. New Buck disagrees. Let's see. He dialed to see how she would answer the judge, and there are problems if she picks up and calls him daddy. I don't know. That's, I mean, I can see what you're saying, but I mean, to say, hey, listen, I answered the phone, from the judge. I mean, I don't know. I'm just kind of, yeah, I can see what you're saying, but I don't think so. Yeah. Bell says at Rusty, they're trying to hide what happened at lunch. Yeah, they're not talking about, that's the thing about this. If the prosecution was being more forthcoming with the context of what happened beforehand, this dude just losing his mind, flipping out. They're not talking about the entire thing. They're presenting what they want to present. And that's, I'm going to agree with you, obviously, Bill. Yes, he'd already heard about the assaults in the chambers. Yeah. Well, he knew about them because he's part of a damn lawsuit, that he's actually named in the lawsuit. He's a co-defendant in the lawsuit, against him of the victims. So he knows about them. Nickel G, sheriff and judge was good friends and family as well. Rumor says sheriff's wife was going to leave him, but afraid the judge was going to help her. The wife used the daughter's phone to contact the judge. That's very well possible. So, I mean, we're not going to know exactly, but I would think if that was the case of what was going on, the prosecutor would probably come forward with it. They would want to put that on the table because it damages the sheriff. I would think they'd be a lot more forthcoming with it. I'd hope that the sheriff would know the problems with calling his daughter from the judge's phone on camera. But yeah, sometimes people just aren't that bright. Anada says she won't answer her dad, but would answer anyone else. So maybe issues with dad and daughter. So this kind of be a good, I'll wait to show you. I'll wait to show you what we got with that. Let's see. Yeah, they're not going to know. Yeah, so they're aware that there are cameras there now, but I believe there weren't always there. See, Boone County's finest. I heard it was because she wouldn't answer the father's phone, but answered from the judge's phone because he had something going on with the daughter. Don't know. Other people in the family are saying no. Yeah, he was definitely highly motivated to end him. He was not messing around. The video shows that. And I didn't think about it, but I will post that video to Rumble.
So we don't have a viewing of what transpired during that exchange of phones. But based upon your review of those moments prior to, when Sheriff Stines observes that cell phone, was he previously seated?
Yes,
Okay, so in the clip we saw, he was standing the entire time.
he was seated in front of the judge's desk.
And he looks at the cell phone. What is it? Can you describe his reaction in the video that we haven't seen?
Whose reaction?
Well, the sheriff.
You can't see his face in the video.
Okay. But is it clear that, does it appear to you that, I don't know, let me rephrase this. Did he stand up after
Yes,
looking at the phone?
he stood up.
And how long after he looked at the cell phone and stood up did this occur that you played?
Just seconds.
Did you make the decision as on edits today for what you were going to present? In terms of, did you make the edit or determine
No,
which portion of the video we were going to see today?
no, sir, I did not.
Okay. Both cell phones have been sent to the Kentucky State Police Forensic
Yes,
Team, is that correct?
yes.
Have you gotten any early report on what was found?
No,
Were both phones still on the desk when you arrived?
the judge's phone was on the desk. Sheriff Stein's phone was on his person.
Okay, so are there photographs of, was the phone locked at that point or was it still open?
With both of you asking about both of them, or?
Well, first let's talk about, that's fair. First, I'm talking about Judge Mullins, since it was the one that was still on the desk and presumably nobody touched it prior to you securing it, correct?
No.
So, yeah, so I would like to know about that. Have you ascertained what was currently open on that cell phone?
No, I don't know at this point.
You don't know?
No.
Okay, do you think that will be important to learn?
I hope to learn that when the report's ready, yes.
Okay. But as of today, you can't tell us
No.
what was currently open on the judge's phone.
No, sir.
Yeah, that's a solid point, TTK. He may have dialed the number to see if a name came up, if under a fake name. I mean, yeah, there could be, it's very possible. The thing about that is, if he, I'm having a hard time thinking that you would just like that would be the trigger, right? That, okay, let's just say that there was something in the phone that you could cross-reference and it confirmed a suspicion that you were having. And that's the trigger to all of this. I'm having a hard time with that. It's super, to me, it's like, all right, it would raise suspicion or maybe confirm a suspicion. But you got to think his reaction to something like that is very, very drastic. And I'm thinking, I keep coming back to why would, I'm saying, hey, look, if this thing was stored in there or whatever, sure. But the whole him dialing it on that phone, I don't know. It just kind of comes back to, it's very, very strange to me. Sure, it could be fake name, just, kind of like what I said, but it's hard for me to think that is, that's the trigger to all this. That's the one thing that set him off. He could have done this anywhere. He could have done it in public, in the car, on the way back. He had all kinds of places to do this. So, I don't know. We are just going to speculate on it, but I'm kind of, I see your point there, but I'm kind of going to stick with where I'm at on it. Boone County's finest said my wife's cousin is a corrections officer in Letcher. It's deeper than many think. Can't spill any more tea. However, this most likely will link 3 and 4 other counties. And that's not shocking at all. I kind of figured that this thing is big time deep just by the way that the prosecutor is handling it. That was kind of the whole point of me going over and reviewing all this. It just doesn't seem like whatever happens here. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a damn human trafficking network that coming out of 3 or 4 counties or something. You know, it would not shock me, Boone County's finest. So, yeah, but that's really my whole reason. Just looking at the way the prosecutor's dealing with this is why I'm so intrigued by this case. Yeah, exactly. Stray hooter shooter. I don't think any of us will. Yep. The cop killed the judge for sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a big what the fuck.
Did you conduct an interview with Sheriff Stein's daughter?
I did not, but she has been interviewed.
Are you aware of who was present when she was interviewed?
Lieutenant Randy Combs and Detective Anthony Trotter.
Okay. And she was interviewed with or without her parent?
With.
So her parent was present at the time you interviewed her?
Yes, I believe. I wasn't there, but yes, I think so.
And law enforcement has not spoken to her without her parent present?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Did the Kentucky State Police obtain her phone?
No.
You intend to obtain records for her cell phone number?
Possibly, yes.
Do you believe that that will be soon that you'll do that?
Could be, yes.
Had you already intended to do that, or did you just respond to my question?
Well, the call should be on the judge's records too.
Well, I understand.
And she's made statements about what occurred during those conversations.
I understand that, but I would presume that, have you ascertained whether Judge?
Did you catch that? I missed that the first time around. Let's go back and listen to this one more time.
Well, I understand.
And she's made statements about what occurred during those conversations.
I understand that, but I would.
Oh, we'll roll that back one more time. He's talking about the daughter.
Could be, yes.
Okay. Had you already intended to do that, or did you just respond to my question?
Well, the call should be on the judge's records too.
Well, I understand.
And she's made statements about what occurred during those conversations.
I understand that, but I would presume that, have you ascertained whether Judge Mullins also had apps that stand outside of phone records?
Oh, hey, what's up, Triple T, man? Good to see you. So yeah, I missed that the first time around listening to this. I'm surprised this defense attorney didn't grab that. The detective says she's made statements in regards to what was on those conversations. So this kind of like short circuits the entire thing of that. So they're kind of, they know what's going on. So there's probably is something there. Some prior conversations between the judge and the daughter is the way I'm interpreting this. Oh shit. There you go. TTK. So yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah. So this next line of questioning from this, I keep wanting to call him a fucking prosecutor, the defense attorney. This is going to make a lot more sense. Yeah. So he's really, so yeah, there's something else going on there. I'm surprised I missed that. I guess it's because he didn't pick up on it.
I've not received those records yet. I don't know what's on the phone.
Fair enough, but I mean, did you look at the phone? Did it appear there were apps on it?
I'm not the person that's qualified to look through the phone.
Okay, but you're familiar with cell phones. They can host other forms of communication.
Hold on,
Yes, sir.
what's the
He's been
objection?
asked and answered, Your Honor. He's asked a question, I think about 4 or 5 different ways. The officers, the detective repeatedly said it. He is going to have to report the phones. He's not good at the phones. He can't testify that night.
I just
Let
want
him
to,
ask the question, and well, he can only testify what he has personal knowledge about.
Yeah. So I really should have paid more attention to this on the first listen through. So he's objecting right there. He keeps at, because he knows what he's doing. He's got information about this phone, and this prosecutor's like, no, they're wanting to bury this fucking phone is what's going on. So yeah, he knows that the defense attorney's leading him into this, and he's already let too much out of the bag. So now he's going to object because he's going to start asking about apps, and this dude's going to pretend like he's never seen a modern day cell phone. Okay.
yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor. So you're aware that phones can be used for apps such as Facebook.
Yes,
Okay. And that is not something that is captured by cell phone records. You would agree with me?
I agree.
So in light of that, although the records may be mutually the same, right, the same between Judge Mullins' phone and the sheriff's daughter, do you believe that you could also ascertain other information from the cell phone app content?
Are you asking what apps are on the phone?
Yes. Well, that was my original question,
I
but I
don't know
thought you did know.
without, I've not received that report yet. I don't know what apps he had downloaded on the phone.
If he has social media apps, do you intend to?
That could lead to additional search warrants, yes.
If you would, officer, please let me finish before you move forward, and I'll try to slow down a little bit as well, okay?
Sure.
Take your truth.
Yeah, he is starting to slap him around with the backhanded shit. Yeah, he was trying to lead him into, so I'm assuming he mentioned Facebook, so they're probably talking about a Facebook call. Yeah, so there may be a little bit in that. Damn, I'm really disappointed that I missed that.
Have you determined whether there were any previous issues, personal or professional, between Sheriff Stines and Judge Mullins?
I've heard things.
Okay, what have you heard?
Just that, this regarding the lawsuit that the Letcher County Sheriff's Office is currently involved with.
The lawsuit that involved ultimately a criminal conviction of a deputy for sexual behavior in the judge's chambers. Is that the one you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay, and the subject matter of that lawsuit, the chambers area, that's the same chambers in which this occurred, is that correct?
I'm not familiar with the details of that case that the lawsuit resulted from.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're starting to get it's starting to become undeniable how dodgy this detective is with all this stuff. He doesn't. So this part, I remember I went back and rewinded it again and listened to it just for that answer right there. Is that he's completely oblivious to modern day cell phones, apps, any intersection point between the judge and the daughter. And now he has no idea, right? Being the lead investigator in this county of a big case like that, a big federal lawsuit that's gone on where someone, a law enforcement officer went to jail. He is unsure whether these things happened in that same judge's chambers. And the defense attorney is 100% sure of it. So it shows how dodgy this lead investigator is.
Are you aware of any criminal reports that Sheriff Stines had made of Judge Mullins prior to this day?
No.
Did you personally observe Sheriff Stines following this video?
Did I personally observe him once?
Did you meet with him? Did you talk to him after?
He was in custody when I arrived at the courthouse that afternoon.
And at some point, draw any observation about his demeanor?
He was, mostly calm, I thought. I mean, I talked to him, but he didn't say nothing about why this had happened, but he was, calm. He was, kind of afraid that, basically all he said was, treat me fair. That's basically the comments he made.
Okay. Did he also make a statement about, I don't see it in the citation here, but somewhere along the line I saw a statement being attributed to him about protecting his family?
I wasn't present, but when he was taken into custody, I was told by one of the other officers that were there that he made the comment, they're trying to kidnap my wife and kid.
All right. So yeah, where do I begin? So Boone County's finest because he had his daughter's phone with him as well. They were trying to bury her phone. Yep. And I'm that's becoming pretty clear to me, right now. So I'm going to walk back what I thought before with the sheriff calling the phone. It's starting to make a little more sense based on that one exchange that he had where the detective had a little bit more to say than he should have. And it's hard for me to believe that this guy, this lead investigator, who is a peer of this sheriff in some form or fashion, didn't ask him, hey, well, what happened? Right. There was it was just, oh, he was calm. We didn't talk about it. None of that. Right. Not any way, shape or form. Obviously he could, nothing. He didn't, all he said was just treat me fair. So maybe he clammed up and was going to give an official statement, whatever, but clearly the defense attorney has some information here and you're kind of reading between the lines with it. Shoddy says they can't let too much out of the bag because they got to save it for the later in the trial. Well, I mean, yeah, they'll need to get it in front of a jury. Here's Lord Ludicrous. The daughter may have introduced friends to the judge. Yeah, that would be, yeah. That investigator must be related to Kimberly Cheadle. I don't know. Oh, the fucking, the Secret Service leader, right? Yeah. Fucking director of the Secret Service. Oh, that'll be another conversation we'll need to have. Yeah, how can the lead investigator not have? Yeah, exactly, Bill. How can the lead investigator have so little information about what's going on here and just as the defense attorney pointed out, how can he be so unprepared to testify at this preliminary hearing? So he's still looking for this part in the citation.
Have you ascertained any evidence that this shooting was pre-planned?
No.
Okay.
Not at this time.
And would you agree that from what we've seen so far, from the evidence you've seen so far, the shooting was a reaction to what was on that cell phone in that moment? Is that accurate?
Objection, Your Honor. Also speculation outside of his scope of expertise.
Your Honor, I believe that if he has formed an opinion about the investigation up to this point, especially at a preliminary hearing, he could speculate on that, Judge.
Well, she's saying.
Sure. So.
Yeah, that prosecutor is going to be a horrible, horrible poker player, by the way. There's way too much information here that they're trying to sit on. So my initial inclination about this is there is some kind of cover up of what's going on with this judge. It becomes more and more prevalent the more you watch this prosecutor interrupt this cross-examination. Oh, exactly, Savannah. I'm going to be on the edge of my seat. I really, like I said, there's not a whole lot of this stuff that gets my attention, but this one was like, oh, there could be a lot more going on here. See, Boone County's finest says that's why the investigator never went after the daughter's phone. They already have it, but going to act like he walked in and killed him cold blood. Yeah, that would be the most beneficial thing for their case, right? This is going to be like the Johnny Depp case, loads of objections. Hopefully it's, well, I don't know. I'll leave that one alone.
Is there anything other than the content of the phone that this video will reveal to us about why this took place?
No.
Does it appear that this took place as a reaction to what was happening in the chambers at that point?
I can say it occurred after a phone call was made. I don't know what was said or nothing like that, but
Fair enough, and I'm not asking you the content of any of that, but at this point, is it your theory that whatever that content was in the discussion was the impetus of the shooting?
it could be, but I don't know that for a fact.
Okay. Do you have any evidence up until this point that you have developed that would demonstrate that it was not as a reaction to what was on the phone?
No,
None whatsoever?
no.
Okay. Just if I had just one moment to confer with counsel.
Well, there you go. Blue Eyes knows exactly what's going on. You got married in this courthouse? That's pretty cool. It's now becoming infamous. Well, that's good to know.
Did you attempt to speak to Sheriff Stines at the Leslie County Jail after the incident?
No,
Did anyone from your agency attempt to interview him?
not to my knowledge, no.
And at that point, had he asserted his right to an attorney or anything?
No,
But nobody went back to try to talk to him or do an interview?
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're into complete bullshit territory now, right? You're saying when this guy was taken into custody after gunning someone down in a courthouse, no one conducted a preliminary investigation on camera in that car that he was going to be transferred. They just put him in cuffs and nobody said a word. Nobody advised him of his rights. Nobody advised him of anything. Nobody got a statement, nothing from him. This is the story he's telling. Nobody. Yeah, exactly, Bill. This is bullshit. There's no way, because if you're involved in something like this, there are going to be multiple points where people are going to try to interview you and get information from you. They are not going to let you just clam up and sit back and say nothing, especially a police officer. They're not going to let you do that. To say that no one even attempted would be ridiculous. I mean, what could have happened is, hey, what happened? Hey, look, I won't say anything till I get an attorney. And at that point in time, they need to terminate the conversation and just go for the ride. But he would, that could have very well happened, but for him to say that, oh no one even tried, ridiculous.
I think I have one other question. In addition to cell phones that we've discussed, the cell phone of Sheriff Stines and the cell phone that you found of Judge Mullins, were there additional phones that you were able to obtain?
There was one other phone that's currently being examined, and the basic reason it was seized was there was a text conversation between Sheriff Stines and some of his employees with the sheriff's office.
Okay, and that was an additional phone of Sheriff Stines?
It was a phone of, I guess she's the, I don't know what her title is, but she's employed. She's not sworn. She's employed by the Letcher County Sheriff's Office. And she voluntarily gave her phone to the person that interviewed her.
Okay, and just out of curiosity, could you explain why that was relevant or germane to your investigation?
I didn't conduct that interview, but it was, I guess it was regarding the dinner at Streetside and things that led up to the shooting. But I don't have those results either, so I don't know exactly what was said.
Of course he does. He knows what was said. He just isn't going to say it here in court. So how do you know about a conversation? You know who it's between, or you have an idea, right? You know that she's not a sworn officer, that she does just work in his office. And there was a text conversation between those two. You know that was on the phone, but you don't know anything about the conversation. Ambiguous conversation in text on phone that I'm aware of, but I have no idea what the context of it was. Interesting.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought when we discussed that earlier that you indicated there was no evidence that the conversations at the lunch.
I haven't seen those conversations yet. I've not received the downloads from the phone.
Right, but I asked you if you're aware of any information that could have been gleaned from witnesses at that meeting. And as I recall, you said no, but there is some information that something was discussed at this lunch. Is that correct?
I don't know what was discussed at lunch.
I understand, but you obtained this lady that we don't know her name. You obtained her phone in an effort or based on a belief that she would be able to demonstrate what was said at lunch. So you would agree with me, you believe that there is a witness or information that may have popped up at lunch.
There's a recorded interview with her in the case, and I'm yet to receive the downloads of the phone, so I don't know what they contain.
Okay, well, has that phone been sent for
It is.
forensic examination as well?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Officer, that's all I have. Thank you.
Questions? Is Judge Mullins, you said to medical examiner's officer in autopsy,
He was.
have you received that report yet?
No.
Have you had informal conversations with him regarding his cause of death?
Yes.
And what was that?
Multiple gunshot wounds.
The video we showed earlier, that a true and accurate clear copy of what you received?
Yes.
Concluded it is comes exhibit number 1, Your Honor.
Any objection?
Your Honor, I'd ask, of course, all we saw today was the clip, but I asked it to be admitted in its entirety, and I'm going to
I'm going to respond to that.
Good job. I'm only thing preliminary here is required for probable cause. This establishes probable cause. I think the entire clip is outside the purview of the these proceedings today.
I think if you're going to want to see the whole video, you should object earlier. I'll admit it.
All right. So he just tried to object to them playing this video, saying that if he's going to play it, he needs to play it in its entirety. Prosecutor's doing a little bit of a slimy move here, saying, oh no, we're just trying to establish probable cause. So all we're going to do is show you the actual killing. So I think that, to me, that's very disingenuous. if you had nothing to hide, you would be okay with what, if it is what you say it is, you should have no problem with playing a good portion of it, much more than 10 seconds of the action. You should be able to give a little bit more, because that's really what happens. You're just looking at, if this is murder one and exactly what you're trying to charge him with and trying to get him for, you should be able to say, hey, look, no, he pre-planned this and did it. There was nothing. The judge did absolutely nothing to warrant this, but he's not willing to do that.
With short or guilty. The court. Regard as a charge.
Hey, Detective, this is an ongoing investigation.
Yes, it is.
And as this ongoing investigation proceeds, you will be also interviewing more people if necessary, submitting more evidence to the lab.
Yes.
That's all I have.
Ross? All right, any other witnesses for the Commonwealth?
No further.
All right, you may speak. Any witnesses for the defendant?
There you are.
I'll find probable cause and find this case over the grand jury. Anything else before we adjourn the court?
Yeah, you're sure, there's no, we're not allowed to sum up, Judge, what?
Well, if you want to make an argument, sure.
But it sounds like I may change your mind, Judge.
There's a probable cause hearing, so, but yes,
I understand.
take your best shot.
Thank you, Your Honor. Well, so, murder under our statute, as the court knows, and I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but if there is an issue as to extreme emotional disturbance, then there has to be some evidence that would rebut that. And specifically, when I asked the witness today if there was any evidence to rebut that this occurred as a direct result in the moment of this observation, I have none at this point. And I get it's just probable cause, but I think they've established probable cause for manslaughter first, but not murder. Because I've heard nothing that indicates that this is not, an example of an extreme emotional disturbance relative to the phone. At any rate, Judge, respectfully, I understand the court's previous ruling, but I did want to address that with you.
That's fine.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Commonwealth respond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Extreme emotional disturbance is a defense. There's not been a defense presented here at this court today. The evidence presented in this court today is that the judge was intentionally shot and killed, shot multiple times by the sheriff, and there's probable cause to find the grand jury murder charge.
Yeah, I agree. There's probable cause to proceed.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else before we adjourn court today?
Your Honor, in terms of, we'd like to discuss, if we could, watching from here where he's transported. Is it the court's intention to have him take, and I don't want to discuss that potentially publicly, Your Honor.
I'm not sure I can make that, help you on that.
Sure. So,
I mean, you're welcome to staff report and discuss that, but I'm not sure I can.
Yeah. So that is the end of that. So pretty interesting stuff, at least, intriguing to me. The dodginess of the prosecutor, the detectives. And I mean, it's going to be kind of interesting because this guy is an elected official, and he's going to have some people who are loyal to him on the other side of this. So the question will be, is how loyal? So I think this is going to be a very, very interesting, as this thing unfolds. And I mean, and it's going to unfold as we go. But yeah, so Shotty was asking, when's the next court date? It's bound over for the grand jury. So basically the way that this works is the preliminary hearing was just to show probable cause. They've got a video of him capping him. So they do have probable cause. I keep wanting to call him prosecutor. The defense attorney disagrees with what they've established probable cause on. It's debatable. So with that, hello, Miss Paula. How are you? Good to see you. Yeah. G3 Mini says the most inept group of idiots in positions they don't deserve. There is, there's some purpose behind what they're doing right now. They're being difficult for a reason. They're being dodgy for a reason. And again, we're back to the whole Like, why do I give a shit about this? I think that there's going to be a lot more coming out about this, and as Boone County's Finest did kind of let out of the bag a little bit. Can't say a whole lot, and I understand completely why. I think that there's a lot here that you're going to find out. And this quiet little town that some people describe as Mayberry, not so much. I mean, with the federal lawsuit, with the sexual assault, judgment that's coming, basically, because the person had already been convicted of it, so they're going to end up having to pay out in some form or fashion. That happened in this same place where this murder happened, or this killing happened, or however they're going to classify it in the end. So we know that it's a little bit different. The information that I did have. What's up, Mr. Barendorf? He says, hello, Rusty. Greetings. I'm working tonight. Can't type much. Oh, it's all good, man. Hey, it's appreciate you stopping by. Anyway, I have a piece of information here, and this is, I want to touch Jay Johnson's comment. This is a whole ring of corruption that will be exposed in the end. Hopefully so, Jay. Hopefully so. I believe so, man. This to me is, man, it jumped right out at me the way when the video hit. I didn't imagine there would be a damn video of it immediately, like the last time I was on here 2 weeks ago, but they put it out immediately, and I was like, wow, something's up. Gene K. Okay. Does he have to disclose all the info defense asks for in a preliminary hearing? No, not exactly, but he doesn't have to. I mean, clearly they didn't, so he doesn't have to. But he was being purposely unhelpful in his answering of questions. It was almost to a level of comedy. Mr. Newbuck says, I think they're trying to suppress as much as possible. It would make even more difficult to form an unbiased jury if the judge was banging the daughter. Vigilante justice is still murder. Yeah, exactly. But it would resonate with jurors. And they may be, I mean, what they're going to want is, basically the overall picture of this is not just a conviction. It's how the hell did this go on and nothing was done about it. First, you have a federal lawsuit. Now you have an issue where someone ends up dying as a result of murder. So, I mean, that's going to resonate all the way up to the governor. Boone County's Finest. There had to be voluntary phone given up to make up the daughters. When the defense says the jury where's the sheriff's daughter's phone? Yeah, there's something going on with that phone. I mean, clearly, as dodgy as they were with it. But anyway, there is this piece of information here, and I wanted to share this with you. Let's see. Do I have stop screen? Gotcha. Present. And I'm going to go share to screen here. And there we go. So here is a fundraiser to support the Stines family. And I know because I got this damn widescreen monitor, you guys aren't going to be able to see it. So I'll just read it to you. They're trying to raise $50,000. Here's the GoFundMe if you guys want to donate to that. It looks like they've raised about $9,600 so far. My name is Ginger Isaac. I'm Carolyn's sister-in-law. I am setting this donation page because so many people have asked, and this is the only way I can think of to be helpful. Please consider donating to assist the family of Sheriff Mickey Stines to help with the expenses they will encounter during this tragic time. This family is near and dear to my family's heart. The rumor about their daughter being sexually abused is false. We don't want anyone donating under false pretenses. Mickey and Caroline have spent their lives taking care of others. I want to help take care of them. If you cannot donate, please share this on social media. The family desires prayers for everyone who has been affected. We are made aware that we cannot use this platform to assist in fees regarding this case. The funds will only be used for needs of Carolyn and Lila. We apologize if it came across this way. God bless everyone. So that is a friend of the family. And they're dispelling that right away because they don't want that information being out there about the molestation, assault, any of that stuff. So, I mean, and that was real interesting to see that because, I mean, that was the overall thing. But I do think that there's something going on clearly by what we just witnessed in this preliminary hearing. So, I mean, who knows? That seems to be a friend of the family who's putting this up, and, so who knows about that? Boone County says manslaughter 10 years versus death or life. Yeah, I believe the death penalty is on the table for this. So it's going to matter. It's going to matter big time. The reckoning, they will sequester the jury. Yeah, but I mean, who's not going to know about this? So it's going to be really hard to not taint a jury pool, especially around, these Kentucky towns. Even with a change of venue, somebody's going to know about it. They're going to hear about it. They're going to have some kind of, information about this. Does anyone know what shark meat tastes like? No. I don't know if I've had shark. I don't think so. Let's see. I wish that was the case I got summons for. Oh, so you do have jury duty? Okay. Oh, now, listen, always go to jury duty. Don't get out of it. Don't get out of it. So you gotta do your jury duty. Yeah, Savannah thinks there are too many involved. This is, like I said, I think this one's going to be pretty damn interesting. Boone County's finest, manslaughter or felony that involves the killing of another person without the intent to do so or with some level of emotional disturbance. Yeah, I think that's, obviously that's where the defense attorney's trying to steer this. So... Savannah said she has had fried shark and it's good. I don't know. I will take your word for it. Cass, there you go. Yeah, they probably won't let people like us go. They start asking you some questions and, they'll send you on your way if you don't want to play the game. June K, very first time I ever had jury duty, they drew my name first and it was a murder trial. Oh. That might have been fun. Blue Eye says, well, it's bear season. Who wants to go get one? They stay on my mother's porch. Oh, shit. That's not good. That'd be scary. You walk outside and you had a damn bear on your porch. G3 Mini wasn't sure. All right. So, all right. The next time you guys will see me is likely going to be Saturday. I'm going to try to put something together for Saturday. With that going on, like I said, this will be a couple more weeks of me being spotty with my appearances on here. So, most likely I might get 1 or 2 lives in between then and the first of the month. But other than that, I should be back to normal after the first of the month. Oh, let's see. Not enough, especially if you show up with a bunch of notebooks. Yeah. Taking notes. June K said a guy killed his girlfriend and hit her in a well. I guess so that you had all the information there, so it wasn't really much for you to do with that one. Yes. Tell mom to quit feeding them. They'll get hungry and go away. Mama P says, my jury duty was a case a doctor who filmed under women's dresses at Publix. Jesus Christ. That's crazy. Yeah, that's no good. I'd be worried too if she lives by herself. Yeah, bears are big dogs. Be careful. Cass will adopt the bear. Yeah, you too, Potential Farms. You too. Let's see. Cops are military, never get nervous. He was walking on eggshells. He does seem like he's under some kind of, he's a little, he did seem a little weird. And you notice how clearly the prosecutor has every right to jump in and object, but he looked like he was a little nervous under that. So there's definitely some pre-gaming between them as this went on. Louisiana High Ride, Miss Paula has served on 3 different juries. She is technically an expert on subject matter. Oh, I can't do the baby stuff. Ain't gonna happen. June K, if you get a chance, read about the Samantha Sperry case in West Kentucky. She's still missing. I think you'd find it interesting. I will try to, let me make a note of that right now. Actually, let me get a little bit better at this in my downtime. I want to, I'll make a note and put it in my phone. Kentucky. All right. Noted. So Jay Johnson said the cop is guilty as hell too. Ah, well, the police are allowed to lie to you. So he's not really guilty of anything. They are allowed to mislead people. Let's see. G3 said I had an old neighbor at a trailer park that tried to peek in my bedroom window. They didn't like mine or my son's response. Now, peeping, man, fucking weirdos that encroach on people's privacy. That's too much. I think that's the kind of shit you could probably shoot some people for. I really don't like that. I mean, I know it might be an unpopular opinion, but it's bordering on some other shit. I don't like it. Yeah, missing ones are hard for me. The whole unknown thing hurts differently. I'll definitely look into the one. I'll read about it, but there's just some things that I just I don't want to touch on, like with, like missing kids and stuff like that. My ex had an old friend shake her kid and only got 7 weeks in jail. She was even on Dr. Phil. I'd have gave her 7 minutes of fucking oxygen yeah, that's it. However long it took me to fucking choke her. See, this is why I'm horrible with this kind of shit. Oh, you watched Dolly's channel this morning? Jesus Christ, Rich. Oh, yeah. Wow. Blue Eye says, I've had neighbors tell me they've watched me through my shades thinking it was funny. I don't know. I ain't got much humor for that stuff. The state went and took the kids, so she went and had twins. I'm lost on this one. Mama P said, we spent 2 days going over everything. His iPhone was locked, so we didn't have access to that. We based everything on evidence and facts. Well, absolutely. That's the way you're supposed to do it. Yeah, I do not deal well with that stuff. Oh, Boone County's finest. Well, he didn't say they were going to kidnap my family for nothing. And of course, nothing can come out because it could hurt the defense's case when it's all about his daughter or not. Yeah. And I mean, I know you probably know exactly what's going on, but it just seemed to me like when you have something that's so blatant on camera, you have video evidence of this act happening, and then they're like, oh, we don't really know. And I wasn't part of that interview, and I'm not really sure what a cell phone is. And, I don't know what the app, I mean, just like all the things he didn't know about, Nobody asked the sheriff why he flipped out. Nobody tried to interview him. I mean, just a whole bunch of things that just kind of don't add up to me. And I was like, yeah, there's probably some pretty raunchy stuff going on behind the scenes. Yeah. Zero tolerance for creep mode. I think we should just remove them from the planet in the most expedient way possible. Oh, Susan Smith going before the parole board next month. Yeah. That should be a no-go. $815, meaning if she shook her first child, she shouldn't have been able to have any more. She could possibly shake her heart. Oh, man. No. Nope. Nope. Can't do it. Can't even go there. Just going to get pissed off. Family is smart to shut anything down about the case because that's what they're being told to do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, you got to figure it, let's just say the family's like, no, we're going to spill everything, who knows they could be targeted. You never know what's going to go on, especially in this town that has 0 incidences of corruption in the past. So you never know. Oh, the neighbor's wife tried to say that he could peek in my window because of where they lived right next door, but she was a Facebook prostitute. So Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't, your neighbors sound charming. Did you see her? How the fuck, a Facebook prostitute? Is that a real thing? Yeah, I guess it is. I don't know. Yeah, small town shit for real. All right. With that, I think I'm gonna get out of here. All right, Boone County's finest. Hey, thank you tonight. Appreciate all your insight on this. Good night. Getting up for work in a bit. Great show, Rusty. Truth is coming, and you know it. All right, man. For real. Thank you. Let's see, Storm. I had neighbors back in the day that watched me get in and out of the shower. God knows what else. They were thirsty and I'm stuck and stupid and could have been good times. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. You miss all the shots you never take, I guess. Yeah, I don't know about that. Oh, jeez. See blue eyes. I'm not even close to anyone. Thoughts of me knowing has really creeped me out. I actually still hang up a blanket on 2 windows that it's easy to look in. Yeah, get you some blackout curtains or something. Protect your privacy. There's too many damn weirdos out there. Oh, all right, Ohio chick. Rewinding now. Good night, y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna get ready and get out of here. Look for something for me on Saturday night. So I'm gonna try to put something together. And with that, I'm gonna get out of here. So I only got a few more hours left of what I'm going to consider freedom. But you guys, thanks everybody for stopping by. Appreciate it. Appreciate the memberships. Appreciate the monies you threw at me. With that, I'll see you guys later. Have a good night.